Should you summon on the Very Angry Boy banner? Well, honestly, it kinda depends on your box. The banner itself is a pretty decent banner, but it's definitely directed more towards newer players. I think if you're just starting, this is a great banner for you. However, a lot of the units are older or a little outdated now, so if you're a more experienced player, I think it might be a skip. I also think if you have the AGL transforming Zamasu and the Tech transforming Trunks, maybe it might not be as worth it for you specifically. But okay, welcome everyone, my name is WafflesTheAsianYenbear, and in this series we take a good look at the new Dokkan banners and discuss the units, rates, and ultimately decide whether or not it's a good idea to spend your stones on these banners. So first things first, let's talk about the two brand new units on this banner, starting with the STR transforming Goku. He's a dual category leader for the Planet Namek Saga and more importantly, the brand new Super Saiyan category. This category is pretty darn cool and finally gives us LR Gogeta and LR Vegeta with a 170% leader skill together. It's fantastic. This category also contains units like AGL Gogeta Blue, the new Tech transforming Trunks, Dragon Ball Super Broly, and transforming Vegeta, so there's a lot of really cool options to use here. Having the Planet Namek Saga part of his leader skill also gives him access to the physical Kaioken Goku, which makes for a great linking partner. Overall, I think his leader skill is pretty great. His passive is attack and defense plus 77% and an additional attack and defense plus 15% for each attack received up to 59%, which is a nice little bit of wordplay with Goku's name there, Goku, Goku, things like that. So, it's a bit similar to EZA AGL Broly, so I imagine he'll be able to tank really well after the first hit or two. Now, his super attack deals immense damage and also raises allies' attack by 30%, which is kinda nice, and if you're running him on a main rotation, that'll be a good little buff for your team. Then let's talk a bit about the transformation mechanic, because that's kind of where everyone has mixed feelings about this unit. For his first transformation, he'll transform on the third turn when you're under 70% HP. And I'm not gonna lie to you, even I was a little bit disappointed when I first saw the HP requirement. However, I had some time to think about it and it's really just not the worst we could have had. Under 70% really isn't that hard of a requirement for Dokkan events for most players, but I don't know if it's going to happen by the third turn. The turn mechanic itself really isn't that bad, it's really just the HP requirement. So as far as his first transformation requirement goes, I'd say he's okay. He's not great, but he's not bad. Once he transforms, this card does change a lot. His passive changes from a 77% buff to an 80%, plus he has an additional 59% attack whenever he receives an attack. And the wording on the card is not super clear, but apparently it's a one-time boost that lasts for the whole battle. He has a medium chance, that's 25% to guard all attacks, and if that guard is activated, he has a 50% chance to crit for the next 3 turns. So definitely some big changes there. Now his super attack doesn't boost allies anymore, but it will raise his defense indefinitely by 30% each time. He keeps the immense damage, so that doesn't change. Now his active skill is a rage mode similar to Beerus. It'll last for 1 turn and his passive changes to changing a random color's key sphere to rainbow. He gets an extra super option, so he has both an 8 key and a 12 key super. The 12 key keeps the immense damage and the 8 key gets supreme. During the rage mode, you will take no damage and have a greatly boosted attack, which is all fine and dandy, but unfortunately, to activate the rage mode, you do have to be under 50% HP and wait until at least the 5th turn, so that's not great. I think it'll be a nice boost in maybe like the UI Goku event, but the active skill is a bit of a non-factor when we consider the unit's general value. So I think this Goku is pretty good. I wouldn't say he's the best unit in the game or anything, but I think he's pretty decent. Now we can move on to the brand new Frieza, which is not Dokkan Fest exclusive by the way, so that's pretty great because I think you'll find this Frieza is very helpful for the World Tournament. It is unfortunate, but he does share a name with STR Final Form Frieza, so they can't be run together on the Planet Namek Saga team. But his leader skill is 3 key plus 120% attack and defense and HP for Planet Namek Saga units, along with a key plus 3 and 90% to HP attack and defense for all AGL units, super or extreme, both are okay. Now his passive is attack and defense 80% plus an additional 70% attack when facing only one enemy, or 50% if he's facing 2 or more. He has a 40% chance to stun if he's facing only one enemy, and he gives himself Ki plus 5 if he's facing 2 enemies or more. Now that's pretty nice and makes him useful in a couple different situations. Being self-sufficient for Ki makes for a great World Tournament unit, and having a stunner for things like Battlefield is fantastic. Now his super is an AoE attack of course, and provides a 30% chance to seal super attack. So that's going to be great in the World Tournament, as well as when you do need a stunner or a sealer, he can do both, which is great. Overall, I'd say he could be useful in a variety of different situations, and he's definitely a good card. I wouldn't chase him on this banner, but if you do get him, it is a good pull. Definitely keep him, definitely use him. Now the cool thing about this banner is that all the other featured SSRs are actually somewhat decent Dokkan Fests. We've got AGL transforming Goku and Tech transforming Frieza. Both are fantastic units for new players as they give 120% to super or extreme types respectively. Nowadays, AGL transforming Zamasu and Tech transforming Trunks are the better versions of these, but the Goku and the Frieza are still great for team building, especially when you're first starting out. Beyond that, we've got Int Angel Golden Frieza, who's always a good pull to have. Resurrected Warriors isn't like the top 5 teams, but I'd say it's somewhere in the top 10. His category has a lot of good options, including several good LRs. Then we've got Tech Golden Frieza, who recently got his EZA, and before he got that he was already a great tank, but now with the EZA he is just fantastic at tanking. I'd say he's a solid unit as well. Finally, this Angel SS3 Goku is probably the closest thing to a bad pull on this banner. He's definitely outdated and has like no defense, but he does function well as a 120% leader for super tech types. It's mainly just nice to have him for Battlefield, but he doesn't have that many other uses. He pairs nicely with the LR SS3 Goku if you have him, but I'd say he's not a bad pull, but maybe just okay. So if we look at the chance just to pull one of the 5 great pulls per multi, that's about a 30% chance. If you up that to any of the 7 featured SSRs, it's about a 40% chance, and those are great ratios if you ask me. That is per multi, that is fantastic, and I honestly think that this is a good banner to summon on. For veteran players, I don't think these units are must pulls, top of the metagame situation, but I do still think they have a good amount of uses, and especially for new players, I would recommend summoning on this banner. If you have a good amount of units on this banner, yeah, maybe skip it because I don't think that this new Goku is worth chasing. It is really good, but I don't think he is a must-have. However, if you don't have much on this banner, I'd say it's worth it to go in, maybe at least 2 or 3 multis. So should you summon? I think yes. I know that this banner has been a bit controversial lately on the Reddit and the Discord and on YouTube, and a lot of people are saying it's good, a lot of people are saying it's bad. I think it honestly comes down to a lot of where you are in this game. For players who already have a good amount of teams, there's not a ton on this banner that really changes your experience. But if you're new to Dokkan, this is such a good banner to start on, and I know that once we hit top grossing, I'm going to be doing tons of rerolls to get good starter accounts saved up for future giveaways. Which actually kind of reminds me, a new video on how to reroll on the current patch is coming this weekend. I know that my video that's up right now is not working just because of the glitch on global at the moment, but I will have a fix for that coming up very, very soon. Anyways, all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day, good week, good life, and subscribe for more Dokkan Battle content. Now, goodbye.